Hello, beautiful Taurus. Welcome to your 2021 reading with me, Lorien at the Wellington Witch. These are your predictions for the months ahead. Hope you've had a decent month or end to 2020 so far. But you can watch this whenever you like in 2021, to be honest. This is going to be a general reading, so please do take what resonates with you, leave what doesn't. Even what doesn't resonate with you may do further down the line. So if you may think back and go, oh yeah, Lorien predicted that, so just take it with, whatever you feels right at the moment. So I have been doing this with which deck speaks to which sign. You got the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. So we're going to be doing 4 cards, one for each season, and then we're going to be doing 3 cards, one for career, one for love, and one for advice from spirit. So it's been interesting so far. So let's have a look and see what's coming through for my darling Taurus in 2021. Oh, hello. Already you have spiritual union, which is really nice. Now I am including the southern hemisphere in these because it's not just the northern ones. So if I say winter/spring, that default means northern, but I will explain what it is in the south as well, because sometimes I do get confused. So what else is for Taurus? You want it to come through then. Okay, interesting. I feel like you want to come out. I'm just not even shuffling this time. I'm just having a look. And you want it to come out too. Okay, so let's see. So this would be winter into spring or summer into autumn. This is, let me just have a look. Spring into summer or autumn into winter. Then we have this one, which is summer into autumn. Or I'm getting confused now. I'm just going to do it normally for the northern hemisphere, and then just think of it as the opposite for the southern, because I cannot make head nor tail of it in my head right now, so I don't have the brain for it. So this is winter into spring, spring into summer, summer into autumn. Oh, and then we have autumn into winter. This is very interesting. You have 2 cups and you have 2 wands, and you've kind of bookended by a 2 here. So this to me is very interesting already. Okay. What do I get already from this? Okay, so you're going to be focused more on your emotional life and your passions, your creativity and your relationships. Maybe even a balance of both, career with emotions and how your emotions affect your career. It feels a lot at the moment. Let me just see if I can twist this slightly so you can see it. There we go. Let's center it. Okay, so let's see. So first we have spiritual union, which is normally the 2 of cards. 2 of cups even. 2 of cards. So as you can see, this is very much a meeting of the minds. So it either could be those of you who have been seeking to understand your partner a little bit better, or those of you who have been looking for love. Within this particular crossover season, you will feel very much connected to that person. You'll find that person. I also though feel that you do have a meeting of the minds, which came in very strongly, in that you can see a person very much for who they are. You understand them, you respect them, you are on the same wavelength, very much so. This is an attraction that you've actually built in. And when I say attraction, people think this is automatically going to be romance because it's cups, but it's not just romance here. This could be something that you can kind of do within yourself. You can attract a helpful person in, and I think this is the result of that. You could be attracting in a business partner. You could be wanting to build in somebody who's going to utilize their skills in order to further yours. It could be hiring somebody as an assistant. It could be being just somebody really helpful for you in your career, not just love. And I feel this on so many different levels that sometimes it can actually feel a little bit like dating either way. You're reconnecting with this emotional side that really does build in a duality within yourself. It's kind of like inviting somebody to share your life with. It is basically sharing an area of your life, either the entire thing if it's romance, or just a part of it if it's somebody who to help with your health. Maybe you're even hiring in a spiritual advisor. It could be something like that, or hiring an astrologer to help you with, the particular dates in 2021 that's going to be of use to you. So it could be something like that. I mean, I really do feel that this is coming in for you to say that you have potential to expand on this kind of fruitful year. I feel like it's going to be good for you in a weird way. I feel like this is going to be on some level very much a connection of rooting down into the ground, and so you can blossom up on the surface, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But it's very much a natural, effortless connection. You don't have to worry about it, whichever area of life it's in, and you feel very much like it is effortless. It is just an effortless creation here. So I really appreciate that card coming out first for you. And I do feel it's a very good sign for any creativeness that you want to divulge in as well. I think you're going to find people who are very receptive to the persona, or the kind of the energies you're putting out there. Then we have passion ignited. Now this is in reverse, but don't worry. It just means that the energy is not working the way it could, or it could actually strengthen the cards around it. So you have the Ace of Wands here, which is passion ignited. If it was normal, it would be this way. So this naturally you would think comes from meeting somebody new, or reigniting an emotional connection within a relationship, or having some kind of career spark. But I think it just weirdly, in spring into summer, or autumn into winter, if you're in the southern hemisphere, this could just be a little bit of, okay, the inspiration isn't there, the creation isn't there, it's not flowing as wonderfully as you wanted it to, potentially. Even though you have a very good connection here, it's just kind of not doing as much as you thought it would. Now the trick is not to make that get you down. The trick is just to let this come through. Make it connect. And I think you don't need inspiration and a flash of divine intervention, or an intuitive divinity thing coming down and saying, yes, this idea was sent from heaven, or this union was sent from here. You're just kind of less focused on the passion, less focused on the creative juices flowing, or the love juices, or whatever it is. You're less focused on that, and you're more focused on the work that goes into it. I think being Taurus, you do get a bad rap sometimes as being a stick in the mud. But I think here is kind of like not your saving grace, but definitely your work ethic is going to be something that really does call a great deal of strength here. So yeah, it's in reverse. I mean, it says, oh, you're not going to have any passion. That's not the right thing. For me, it's like, you're not focused on that. This is not going to be your focus. You're not focused on how passionate everything is, and you're not focused on everything that's coming to you, that's going to be coursing through your veins and the fire and stuff. That's a romantic ideal, sure. But, you may be experiencing a little bit of that, but it's not going in the direction that maybe you imagined it would. It's coming from somewhere else. But also it doesn't need it. It's not something that's necessarily... I know it sounds like I'm kind of brushing it off, but I think that's kind of what you do. It's like, I wish I could explain it a little bit more, but it just feels like you're not going to suddenly get a huge spotlight on you that's going to energize you as soon as this happens. It's going to be, okay, now what do I do with this? How do I work with it? You're going to be thinking of ways to do it. It's not going to be a divine intervention. It's just going to be, okay, how can I work with it? Feet on the ground, working at it. Now, as I said in other readings that I've done for 2021, we're in a 5-year. So 2020 was all about home, roots, family, as we do, because we sat at home for a long time. So 5 is play. It's creativity. It's dipping your toe in the water, saying, ooh, don't like that pond, and go into another. It's something that just feels like you can play, you can experiment, you can drive in whatever direction you want. And if you get lost, you can turn around, come back and try something else. It's something that just feels like you can use the energy to experiment in ways that you maybe haven't thought of before. Now, as far as I know as well, with 5, you don't have time much to settle on something, but you will put a lot of hard work into this. And I do feel that the 6 of Cups here, which will be summer into autumn, is also going to be very, very important for you. 6s are all about growth. 6s are about that kind of special nurturing that comes through, and especially with the cups. So you could be looking back on something to inform the choices that you make now. You could be using the skills that you have built up in 2020 and beyond to actually inform the direction that you take now. How you deal with something now is going to be very much something that you've experienced before. You know, for instance, if you experienced a problem in the family, either 2020 or before, someone else in your circle could be experiencing the same thing, and you know how to deal with it, so you can actually advise them as to how to take that on board, or how to deal with it, or how to approach it. Handy things, you know, strong things that I feel are coming through with more of an understanding from your side to them. Like, I understand where you're coming from, I understand what you're going through. This is how I did it, you know, just giving advice, but not expecting them to necessarily take it, because that's what advice is. It's just like, I will advise you, but you don't necessarily need to take it. I do feel, though, as well, you're kind of reminding yourself as to what is important to you. You're reminding yourself as what matters in your life. Because sometimes, you know, you could get too focused here. It could be that the passion for something is kind of not directed the way you want it. So you focus on something very much intuitively and practically, that you sacrifice a little bit of your emotional self. So you have to reconnect with that throughout the year, particularly the middle of the year onwards, to sort of get back into a state of understanding yourself, if that makes sense. I hope so. But it just feels like, okay, just reconnect with yourself, reconnect with something. I feel like for some of you, you're gonna come across a person, an event, or a feeling, place that makes you feel or reminds you of something that you experienced when you were a child. Now, for me, the thing that brought me to this was because when I first went to Disneyland Paris, and I was in a sequoia lodge, I think, and the forest and the cabin feel, and seeing all these trees, and it was just misty, it was beautiful. And that kind of thing, just the feeling of being around something that you enjoyed as a child or when you were younger, and something that just feels like a calm comes over you. And that is a memory that I think is going to be like, yeah, I still have this. I still have either this talent or this feeling or this memory. And I'm going to try and utilize that in my day-to-day life in order to push me, or inspire me is more the word I think I should use, to take this path. And I think that it's going to be very strong for you, because nature will play a big part of your life in 2021. That's something that just feels like you either want to be next to a lake or the sea or some rolling water. You want to be near mountains of some kind. You just want to feel grounded so much, and it just feeds you. It's fuel. It's something that very much feeds you here. So I do connect with you on this because I love the thing, and you're my sister sign anyway, because Taurus and Scorpio are sister signs. It just feels like it's deep connection to who you have been and who you've become, but also what hasn't changed within you. So that's something that is coming in here to kind of reaffirm, yeah, I am good at this, I do love this, I still am inspired by this, I still have this memory. And then you can actually work with that here. The 2, if I can get this, 2 of Wands comes through with a sense of progress and discovery. So the 2 of Wands indicates that you've done all the hard work. You do have this feeling of, okay, I've accomplished what I need to. There's still a bit more that I want to do, but maybe not right now. And then you actually just have to wait for it to come to fruition. It's kind of like here, you have planted the tree, now you just have to wait for the tree to grow. So the journey that you've had and all the hard work you've had and the understanding how to nurture something, maybe you used to like an analogy, you used to do garden with your grandma, and you know how to plant the seed, nurture the seed, watch it grow, and now you just know how to wait. You've done all you can, you just have to wait now to see what the results will be. And sometimes waiting can be very hard. Sometimes, like waiting for results of something, waiting to see if you've passed or got the promotion, waiting to see the results of a test that you've done for higher education or something like that. It just feels like, okay, so now I just sit back and wait and see what the results will be. It's just something like I've painted and I've entered a competition with this painting. I just gotta see if somebody wants it. It's just that feeling of, okay, I've done all I can do and now I just wait. And I know waiting's not the thing for many people, but for you, I think you have the tenacity to do it. I think you're able to do that. Okay, so let's see what's going on for career, love, and spiritual guidance. Career, love, spiritual guidance, please. Career, love, spiritual guidance. For Taurus in 2021. Okay, so that's career, that is love, and this one, oh no, this one at the front wants to be spiritual guidance. Okay, let's see what you have for career. You have mental conflict, but it's in reverse. You have recognition and reward for love, but it's in reverse as well. And then we have base chakra for spiritual advice. Okay, so within this one then, career, mental conflict, but in reverse, so good. So Two of Swords is basically a choice and stalemate, and again with it could be here you're trying to do something, again twos, you could be doing something that is very much a case of again, and just continuing to go over and over and over and over and over again. It seems like a cycle of something, but you're not really conflicted by it. I don't think that this is something that's what do I do? Am I making the right choice? It just feels like you've already decided and you just keep continuing over and over and over again. Or maybe it's a very repetitive job, maybe you have to do loads of revisions, maybe you have to keep redoing a proposal, or it's just the same stuff different day, that kind of thing. It could just be that you are continuing to slog at it. I don't see a choice here. What I see mostly is the fact that there's a dissatisfaction that you're trying to work the kinks out of, and that I think will happen. The advice in this card is keep going at it, because I do feel the solutions are coming very early in the year. In fact, the solutions to this are coming very early as the year goes on. So I don't feel really that you have to worry about that too much. It's just recognizing that something you're very dissatisfied with, and you're just going to have to continue to work to figure out the problems and to figure something out. You have a solution. It's not a case of, I don't know. You have the solution. It's just that you need to continue working at it for a little bit longer. And then with the love here, we have this Three of Pentacles, I believe, which is in reverse. So this is kind of like the teamwork and collaboration thing, the recognition, the reward of doing something that's very positive. It just feels a little bit like it's not so much a team. And this is, I think, kind of why the memories of love comes through here. You understand maybe in a previous relationship as to maybe what's happening now in yours. I think also for some of you, the pattern of choosing the wrong one, or going on and off with somebody, being on again, off again, on and again, off again, that's actually not giving you any recognition or reward either. So it is definitely something that has to, again, similar to this mental cycle here, kind of run out of steam a little bit. But because it's got all this positivity here, this I think is definitely showing that you will find somebody, but it's not necessarily something that's like passion. Maybe that's kind of what you went wrong before, injecting too much passion into something so it burnt out very quickly. And actually with this, the base chakra, if you're in a marriage or a relationship at the moment, this could actually apply very nicely within each other. So the base chakra is about the roots that you have, and again I said about being grounded in order to flourish. This is having the roots down, the foundations down, making sure that you're very connected to yourself. If it's out of joint, it can be a little bit of a fear thing, attracting the wrong people into your life romantically. It can also be excess of indulgence, if you know what I mean. It just feels like this is what you need to work on, and this can affect the rest of your alignment, really. This is due to your security, your safety, but also the feeling of completeness to start with, and then you build upon that. But this, I feel it goes hand in hand, not just because they're both red and it indulges with the confidence and the security that you need in relationships. It just feels like for some of you, relationships aren't that much this year. You know, I don't care if I get recognition and reward. I'm alright, I'm comfortable in the relationship I am in. For some of you who are having trouble in the relationship area, this is more about communication and the collaboration that's needed in order to change the situation that you continue to find yourself in. So I feel that centering yourself here, rooting yourself, and then understanding that you're attracting something that the energy that you're putting out is attracting something and that's kind of responding to that. I feel like you are kind of doing the building blocks, the little Tetris thing. You're trying to fit it all together at the beginning of this year. I feel this is really, really the foundation that you make, I think from January to March, maybe April, is going to change the way that 2021 responds to you. So just be aware as to what energy you're giving out. I'm sure you will be anyway. I'm not wanting to put a downer on it or anything. It just feels like be careful with the energies that you're setting out, because that's what will be returned. Some of you may be like, I don't believe in any of that. Well, just see, okay? Just see. I'm not telling you what to believe, but just pay attention to where you're paying attention. Okay, so that's it for 2021. If this resonated with you, or if you have any plans for 2021, if you're hoping to get anything done particularly, do let me know down below. And if you want to get in touch with me, everything that you need, like my email address and website, is in the description box too. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon.